Hey there, lonely girl, lonely girl. What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. And I know that every time I hop on here, I say, "Yo, we live." Woo, 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 woo. And I say, "Yo, this gonna be a short one." You know what I'm saying? It's Monday night, election tomorrow. Y'all don't need to be up all night. I don't need to be up all night. Y'all need to get out and vote potentially if that's what you into. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say we're gonna keep it nice and tight tonight. We got a few different topics that we want to get into. One of those topics I want to talk about over the weekend. We did it was kind of cold. It was like the BBB Mafia, BBB Coalition. We was out on all the live streams over there with FYF Sports Debate, Ticket TV. We was just out here, just defending the brand all weekend. It was a good time, man. I think that it was cool because as I was trying to make my resurgence back on YouTube and kind of get into these live streams, I remember I was having this conversation with Ballfax and I was telling him like what I want to accomplish. And then the reason why I think that this live stream setup is so dope and being able to bring people in is like it does to me feel like you're on like FS1 or you know what I mean, first take, and they bringing in these different panelists and you guys debating on all of that stuff. Like to me, I feel like obviously they do that every morning on those national networks, and those shows become super successful. So I think that being able to recreate that on this level to me is an amazing thing. So I feel like it's super dope. And then so basically what I was telling him is I want to be able to go live and kind of have my own platform, but then be able to bring the ball faxes in, the DKMs and all of these other folks, and then like as if they were doing segments on these like larger shows that we see on TV. And so that was dope because that's kind of what it felt like going into FYF Sports Debate or going into Ticket TV and like you know what I mean, everybody kind of taking turns and feeling what those cultures felt like and how each one of those platforms felt different, you know. So like how we vibe, if you go back and watch the Halloween episode from Friday, right, it would feel completely different than I'm sure if you watch a Ticket TV or FYF Sports Debate. You know what I mean? So it's just like everybody has their own thing. So then when you kind of can go cross platform like that, it is like our own community's version of what you see on like First Things First, and then the Colin Coward show, and then um Undisputed, and how these different personalities bounce from show to show and they kind of work in a network and all have their own success that way. So that's what it felt like. But what I want to do quickly is give a bit of a recap of like my thoughts on the whole thing, right? And like I said, I think it was super cool to be a part of that whole situation and to actually do it. And also, man, while y'all watching, I hit the like button. You feel me? If you ain't here right now, go ahead and smash the like button, suppress it, push it down, and let that boy turn different colors in the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't here, go ahead and hit that boy. Right? I don't know why I gotta say that. You feel me? But you know what I mean. I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that. So back to what I was saying. So what I realized in both of those situations and talking about kind of the brand and it's very different temperament in both of those rooms, right? The Ticket TV thing was really like obviously it's hella heated, folks getting emotional, they woo, woo, woo. They what is this? And the FYI Sports Debate was kind of dope because it was like more so like fact finder, you know what I mean? Like let's get this information type of vibe. Like I want to share this with y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in. And so it was dope. But then it was also cool to hear like Ball Facts answer some of these questions, DKM answer some of these questions and all of that stuff. Because what it said to me That debate was not a debate at all. Let's talk about it, huh? So, what it was interesting to me is to hear everybody. What's up, Marcus Gibson? What it was interesting to me was to hear everybody's opinions or like own way that they answer these different questions, right? Because I think that what makes the Ball family, the Big Baller brand, such dynamic and so interesting is because there's so many different ways that you could have been introduced to it, and there's so many different opportunities for you to be hooked or somehow be passionate about whatever they have going. So when you're talking to Ticket TV, and obviously somebody who is following it, right? Not from the angle of like, yo, I'm supporting it, but from the angle of, man, I'm keeping track of everything that's happening kind of on the negative, right? There's something there for you. If you are interested in the conflict, right? And you're on that platform, you realize that that platform is conflict heavy. So the things that they might harp on and stick with is the things where it's like, oh, you said that about Steph Curry. Oh, you did this. It's the controversial things because that's what the platform is kind of built on over there, right? When we're doing with Lamont over at FYF Sports Debate, it was more like kind of more in line with just kind of some of the narratives and things that we all talk about with the positive things that are happening. What makes the situation so unique? Like, what are the intricacies of it? You know, that if you are somebody who is likes the talent that the boys have, you'd find that interesting, right? If you are somebody who is interested in the branding dynamic of it and what that means from a business lane and a cultural standpoint, there's something to find interesting, right? And I think that what I realized where I differ from most people who are like interested and follow along with the narrative of the Big Baller brand, LeVar, Melo, Jello, Zoe, the whole thing is that, and I've said this before, where my interest comes in at, and I think that this is what I don't want to say it makes it hard for me to debate in those settings, but like I think that it makes it hard for people to understand where I'm coming from because I'm looking at it from not necessarily how these things affect those guys, the brand, how they affect LeVar, but how they affect the general public, right? So it's just like those are the people kicking in the door. They the test subjects. They are the what is that called? I can't remember the word, but the folks who are kind of laying the blueprint, the case study. That's what I'm looking. That's what they are, right? And so it's interesting, and I'm with it. It's just that I realized that when LeVar Ball and Lonzo Ball go to the league and they start their brand, what they're doing is exposing a whole new generation to a different ideal. So when folks grew up and they'd seen the Michael Jordan commercials and they seen like the whole idea of having the signature shoe and how dope that was and being in Space Jam and all of that stuff, that's what we seen. That Michael Jordan exposed us to that amazingly, and everybody wanted to follow in those footsteps, right? And now what you see with LeVar and those guys is you've been exposed to the ideal of like, yo, what happens if you just start your own thing, right? And that impacts people. And then so to me, I buy into that philosophy. I support that because I think that that is more beneficial at the end of the day, the exposure for the next generation who may try to walk in that footstep and being able to keep the narrative positive enough that they don't get discouraged, right? So when folks hear, oh, the brand is dead, they ruined it, it's a troll brand, it's this, I believe that it discourages the next generation from wanting to even attempt it, right? It seems too hard. Why Melo didn't even stick with the brand? Like it just seems too hard. And so for me, that's where my defense comes in, right? Is the reality of I'm trying to bring in the practical sense of it of like, yo, if somebody said to you tomorrow, um, if somebody said to you tomorrow, you could make enough money to change your family's life but you may have to be boom gang. Like, folks might consider it. If folks said to you tomorrow, yo, you might be fat boy SSE, but you're going to make life-changing money for your family, like, folks might consider that, because a lot of people out here are hard up. So when you are presented with an opportunity where, in order for you to create generational wealth in your family, you have to promote your own brand and your sons, that's, you got to do whatever it takes. You're telling me that I can change the landscape of my family generationally, and all I have to do is tell the world about how dope I think my sons is? I'm gonna do it. You mean to tell me that all I got to do is tell the world that I'm doper than Michael Jordan in basketball, regardless of if I am or not? I'm doing it. And to me, that's what makes me stick with it. That's what makes me pump the narrative of this could be a positive thing, right? And so I see that other folks don't necessarily look at it that way. It is more personal. It is more like, yo, they really could hoop. They really did this and this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And to me, that's where I look at it. What's up, King C, man? I appreciate you for coming through. Hey, y'all, man, make sure you hit that like button. Flourish King, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Alan Humphrey, shout out to you as well. And so, well, let me get back to this. So for me, I remember a time in my life. There's two quick stories that I want to share. Is that when I graduated college, got my degree, everything, I thought, yo, I got the degree, got the paperwork. I'm finna go out here and make this bread, right? I play sports, so I had a little bit of student loans. But I'm thinking like, yo, I'm gonna be full time here in the next couple of months, and I'm gonna damn near be able to pay back these student loans in the next maybe 2-3 years. That's how much bread I'm gonna be making. About 6-7 months outside of graduating with a whole degree, I was working security at a grocery store. I was bouncing at a bar, and I'm thinking, yo, I got a whole degree in communications. There's no way I can't get a job. And I could not get a job. So when I think about a situation in which all you got to do to get national attention, to raise the awareness of your brand, your sons, your family, is to say some cool fly shit, I'm going to say the cool fly shit. What's up, Hoop Jargon? Hoop Jargon, man, damn near got my video demonetized the other day on Halloween night, talking all reckless. Now I'm playing. Hey, man, make sure I hit that like button. So that scenario right there is partly why I'm saying that I support the brand. I rock with it because I don't want folks who have an opportunity to change their generational landscape of their family to not do it, because folks is like, but the LeVar messed it up for everybody. Nah, he didn't, bro. This is one of the things, and this is not my second story, but this is one of the things that I always try to give the Newman family praise for, right? Is because when you look at Julian Newman, he's 5'3" damn near, but somehow they have created a brand in which they can actually sell things, have a product, have an opportunity to change the landscape of their family's generational like wealth type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like business owners, entrepreneurship. These are things that, and why it is personal to me, is like when I was growing up, all we talked about was, bro, you go play sports, you go get that job. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get a shoe deal, maybe you get a woo woo woo. Nobody ever talked about it from the ideal of maybe starting your own brand. Nobody ever talked about it from the ideal of leveraging your own likeness. And so when I see guys like Julian Newman, who folks swear is not talented, have a persona and be known for playing basketball, to me, I have to champion that, because I'm like, yo, if he can do it, if Jamie Newman can start his own school to put his son and daughter on a platform, then why can't anybody else? I cannot be mad at a man for saying some shit about Steph Curry when I'm looking at the generational impact that he could potentially be having on the youth. So when I say on the youth, part of where I get that from, and I've told this story before a ton of times as well, is how I initially came to even start making content around the Big Baller brand and all of that stuff, Lonzo, Melo, the whole thing, was not because I was like super impressed with what they were doing on the court or any of that stuff. It was more so along the lines of I seen the success that they were having, right? And it was baffling me how people talked about them as if they were not being successful, as if LaMelo Ball getting a Lamborghini at 16 is just ruined his life, as if when LaMelo was pulling out of high school, as if LeVar and the things that he's saying is ruining their kid's life. Hold on, man. I'm gonna send you the link, Hoop Jargon. So I'm gonna send it to you over there on the Instagram. So when I seen that, bro, that is what really got me interested, right? I was listening to these videos and where I would hear people be like, I'm mad at the kids. I want the kids to fail because I don't like their daddy. And I would hear grown ass men at the time saying that. And to me, that just rubbed me the wrong way. Because I don't care what they dad is saying that you may think is negative. And I keep bringing up the Steph Curry thing because the other day on the TicketTV live stream, they brought that up 100,000 times because folks saying that he was disparaging a legend to raise his kids up. And then for me, I just can't imagine a world in which Steph Curry, who is probably slated to make over $500 million playing basketball, is concerned about something that a college kid's parents said in the stands. Because that happened when Zoe was at UCLA when that whole thing came about. And folks act like it was today. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep using that as an example. Let me send this over to Hoop Jargon. So that's why I keep bringing that up. So the thing is that when I would hear people say, yo, you're ruining your kid's life, they're in trouble. This is around the time where I had just finished working at a youth shelter, right? And it was an emergency youth shelter, 21 days, where kids would come into this youth shelter from DCS, from foster care, from their parents kicking them out, all of these things. And I remember sitting down with these kids who felt hopeless at the time. And I would be telling them, yo, life is not over at this moment. Like, you still have a chance to bounce back. Like, yes, you got a record. You on probation or whatever as a youngin'. And then what's up, Andrew? Navi, everybody, Julian Wills, what's happening? So we was on Ticket TV over the weekend, had a little debate, and then so we kind of talking about that now. So what I was doing is I was working with these kids and I was attempting to tell them that, like, despite what was going on in their life at the moment, it was not enough to derail it from being like having the opportunity to kind of bounce back, right? The fact that you was working at Taco Bell and you got fired does not mean that you doomed for forever. You feel me? So let me see. So when I heard folks saying that LaMelo's life was over because he dropped out of high school, meanwhile his brother is going to the NBA. Meanwhile, has an opportunity to play professional basketball. Meanwhile, he's driving in a Lamborghini. Meanwhile, is living in a big old mansion out in Chino Hills. It just bothered me when I was thinking about what do the kids who I was working with think when they hear that. If his life is done, then what does that say to the kid who was in the shelter, who has got a DCS investigation happening, who just got fired or just got violated by probation, all of these things. So that is so that's the shit that made me is that vid posted because I'm late as hell. Oh yeah, man. It's on his channel. It's one that's, I think it's titled like something about LaMelo Ball. Woo, woo, woo. And then I think he was on live for like 5 hours. So you had to find the portion where we was all out there and all of that stuff. So that is what made me kind of get interested in creating content and pushing a more of a positive narrative about this, because I realized the global, the bigger picture impact that this situation could have on tomorrow, have on the youth of tomorrow, have on the entrepreneurs, the athletes, the folks who want to be an athlete but it don't work out for them like that. Like how do they end up taking this, right? Because a lot of this stuff is about representation and about experience. And so when you see a guy like LeVar Ball be torn down at every turn, and you don't see them champion all of the great things, then you start to feel like it don't really matter. Does it matter if you have three boys who are going to college and you are an active participant in making that happen? Does it matter if you're somebody who is pouring into the neighborhood that you live in, into the community that you live in? Does it matter when you're somebody who is trying to build generational wealth for your family, when the only thing that people care about is some like random thing that you said 2-3 years ago? When people start talking about you like you are the worst person in the world because you said that you could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one, like that to me is what gets me into it. So and this is what I'm saying all of this to say, is that so when we did those debates, I realized that that is the perspective in which I approach the whole situation and the conversation in the debates. It's not necessarily, I could care less about whether or not, you know what I'm saying, how people feel about if Lonzo is going to kind of shake off that bubble slump that he was in and then get to the next level, right? At the end of the day, sports, the beauty of it is you and me have different opinions and we could actually debate about that. And the truth of the matter is neither one of us knows if we're right until it happens. People debate the Jordan, LeBron James, GOAT topic all of the time. And the reality is LeBron James probably still got 4 years left of a career to add to his resume. And if he's in a place right now where you're having that debate so early, then that speaks to how high you actually view him. But if I say LeBron is better than Kobe, LeBron is better than Jordan, who knows? We never got to see LeBron versus Kobe in the finals. We never got to see Kobe versus Jordan in the finals. We never got to see. So it's just like all of that shit is just hypothetical at the end of the day. So when we have a hypothetical debate about sports, like I'm into it, I'm with it, but like that shit don't move me as much as the generational impact that some of these things have on the culture. That's why I hop on here and I make content the way that I do. It's not because I really want y'all to believe that LaMelo Ball is a great basketball player. It's because I want you to believe that there's no reason why you can't be some fraction of LaMelo Ball in your own way. Hoop jargon in the building. What's happening, my guy? It is. That's why I get on here, is that I want the next generation of parents, and this is, I see this. There's a dude who I met here in Indy. I can't remember his first name. I got it on my phone though, but he watched my channel, And it was dope because he ended up following me on Instagram or whatnot. And has a son. He's probably older now. This was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but he has a son who is a hooper and is 7 years old and is already building the brand. The son already got a logo. The son already got merchandise and all of this, and he's just an AAU hooper. And it's just like, that's the shit that I feel like this type of conversation like makes happen. Where a dude like, yo, LeVar said he was planning this before his kids was even born. Let me get started now too. And to me, that just makes it dope, man. What's up, hoop jargon? What's happening? You say what? Yeah. Man, you sound distant. Like the mic look great. You look great in the screen, but I could barely hear you. There you go. Now,
all right, what about now?
Yeah, now you perfect. I heard it cut on.
You hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you. Ball facts in the building.
Yeah, now I have my little speaker on, so I can hear you better than that, but it obstructs my little joint.
Yeah,
man. I had to jump on, man. You know, that show love, man.
Yeah. So what I was just talking about is over the weekend we was on it was kind of dope. We was on the FYF Sports Debate. We was on TicketTV channel. It was like it was the whole like group, you feel me? And we were all like in there kind of giving some game or whatnot on some stuff that maybe folks had not considered when it comes to like the big baller brand and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Things that we would talk about here, we were able to have those conversations like with other folks, other content creators. And two things. It was dope to me because it really felt like you know how you turn on like FS1 and you see Chris Broussard and he on Undisputed. Then you see Chris Broussard on First Things First. You know what I mean? And then it felt like our own like little YouTube sports creator version of that, right? Of where it's like, yes, they got the Chris Broussard, he got his own radio show, you know what I'm saying? But then he also come on and do the, you know what I mean? It just felt like that type of thing. So to me, that was dope. But then like we got into the conversations, and obviously the one with your boy Ticket TV was interesting. You know what I'm saying? It was all love. It was just a debate, but I was just talking about how to me, I realized that what I'm passionate about this stuff is not the same thing that everybody else is passionate about when they're talking about this stuff. You feel me?
Well, because I mean, everybody doesn't think like a producer, bro. A lot of people think like consumers. So it's hard to convey the idea of a producer to a consumer, because why is that? When you do that, they take in like the arrogance part and they just ride that train all the way to the station, right? Because I mean, and if you look at it in a vacuum, LeVar, you know, he's arrogant. He thinks highly of himself. He does not listen to other people. He does what he wants to do. So if you're a consumer, you're like, man, who are you to say you're gonna do this? Who are you to say your son's better than Steph Curry? But they don't think, you know, we know at this point he speaks hyperbolically, like he's not literally meaning that. He says it because, you know, that's gonna get news attention and that's gonna carry the story. So with that being said, obviously, again, if you think like a consumer, you're gonna always be offended. Like everything that comes out of his mouth, everything you're not gonna like. That's just how it is, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what's funny though is that it is, like you said, a little bit of hyperbole. You know what I'm saying? But my dog LeVar really believes and that's one thing that I said this.
You told me that before. Yeah.
On the Ticket TV thing, I was saying like you got to understand that some of it it's like when we watch, you go to the movies, right, and you watch Transformers.
Yeah,
you want the Transformers to look as real as possible. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You want the Transformers to feel, when you watch it, you want to be like, yo, that's real, right? But when you watch it and you know that it's real, you also can walk out the theater and then have the understanding that there's not really transformers in the world. You know what I mean? And so you're not outside like, oh my God, where my car might flip on me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, like, to me, that's what I'm saying is when you listen to LeVar, you got to understand that it's real. It looks real. It feels there. You know what I mean? But it's not like you can't walk out of the theater or click off the interview and then feel like my dog really got a problem with Steph Curry or he really got a problem with Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, it's real enough to where I do believe that if you gave LeVar $1,000 and you said, yo, one-on-one versus Lonzo, who you betting on? He betting on Lonzo 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just think. Oh, go ahead, B.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So he betting on. We got DJ Raw Uncut Truth in the building.
There you go.
What's
My
up?
dog,
What's up?
he did a video about the whole situation as well. So I want to get your input on this thing for real.
Yeah, objectively speaking, do I think TicketTV is a bad person? No, but his problem in debates are.
See what is going.
Y'all hear me,
bro? You finna get me now. You finna get me shot up in there.
I love DJ starting. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Yeah. The problem was he kept cutting you
FYF
guys
Sports
off.
in the building. What's up, my guy?
He kept cutting you guys off, and the funny part is, you and Ballfax have you guys know the Ball family better than they do. So shouldn't he have listened first and then react instead of just cutting off and assuming and going off what Clutch Points talks about? That's all he does. Saying he knows this person, he knows that person, but he hasn't been as close to the Ball family as you have.
So I agree, man. I think that, and this is what I was talking about, is what makes the big baller brand in that whole situation so interesting, right? Is that if you are somebody who likes conflict, right? So that platform, if you go on there and you listen, like, you expect folks are gonna get rowdy. They might even try to roast you. They're gonna cut you off. You're gonna do woo, 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 right? So the thing that in this whole narrative of what's happening with LeVar and the big baller brand, obviously the thing that they would stick with them and continuously talk about is the moments that fit what they do, right? So I like the parts when, you know what I mean? So you would be more interested in the parts when LeVar is talking about bad about somebody or cutting somebody off or doing woo woo, because that's like the content, you know? So it's like, I get that. And I just think that that's what we were seeing there. You know what I mean? That's how it's so different when you, like, when we went to, we were on FYF Sports debate, you know what I mean? And it was more of you could see the parts of the brand and all of that stuff that they were more interested in knowing about and listening to, right? Because it kind of just felt the vibe of what they typically do anyway.
Man, I look at it like this, bro. I've been running a Facebook group. So I'm more, known on Facebook than I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to get my thing on YouTube, as y'all probably know. I run a group of over 4,000 people. I've had it for about 9 years, and it's cultivated like a pretty strong following, man. Like, I've literally had like couples get married through my group, right? So I've been seeing this whole ball experience from a 30-year-old plus perspective. And one thing I've noticed, and that's why I gravitated to AB to your channel first, is because you was just, you was bringing from a different angle. Because when you get your information from Clutch Points, when you get your information from ESPN, you get so much half-ass information. It's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. So when Ball Facts came on the scene, again, before I even knew Ball Facts, I was just like, man, some of that stuff, sound a little bit of fanboys to me, but that boy on point on what he's saying. And I was presenting some of them videos, and they weren't trying to hear none of it. Like, they literally want to listen about, just let's say, for example, the shoe thing. They say, he make them shoes that they unravel every time he play. I was like, well, if you listen to the actual quote, he said, for 2 games during the preseason, he never wore them during the season. So you're going off of half truths, and that's your reality. So you got to understand, a lot of people just take that and they run with it, man. You know what I mean? And that's just what people do. in this whole movement, man. So like people like us are important because they really will run with that information, that half information, and just think of that, think it's law. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
and that's what your boy TicketTV does, and y'all give more attention than I do. I just kind of just me. And when it's about the actual hoop, this one I care, but that's the little side shit. It don't entice me.
Yeah. And I'll say that this is not a Ticket TV like jump on conversation. You know what I'm saying? For me, for me, it's like I said, like you're right that people do that where they just take the little bits of information and they run with it as it's fact, right? And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, where it rubs me the wrong way is because I realize where folks hear that and then apply it to their own life, right? Mm-hmm. So when you see LeVar Ball moving and all of a sudden you got this dad who come out of nowhere, he got 3 boys and he got him ready to go to UCLA and now they all top 5 draft picks or whatnot. Like to me, that sounds like, oh damn, that's something I would love to do, right? I want to have my son be able to walk them shoes or do something like great. But then when you hear all of the backlash that comes with that, it kind of, I could see how that can make some folks feel like, you know what, man, what if I just get my boys there and just get them in the system the right way, right? Well, you know what I mean? It makes folks afraid to take the added risk of being able to own your own shit, right? It makes people afraid to break the cycle. It makes folks afraid to think of, you know what? I actually do not have to send my son who is a top prospect and wants to be a basketball player into the NCAA. We could literally go make some money right now over in Europe. You watch the boy RJ Hampton got his own Li-Ning shoe. You know what I mean? And nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
So when I hear people be like, oh man, LeVar, he messed it up because he was talking crazy about all of those folks and people would have just supported it if he hadn't said that. And then I realized your boy RJ Hampton got a whole Li-Ning shoe that you could probably go buy. But the reason why you don't know about it is because he's not generating the same amount of hype. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yes, you could not like what LeVar is doing, but the fact that he did that created a situation in which you know him and which he was able to utilize his platforms in order to sell product and create something that could change the legacy of his family forever, or that has changed the legacy, but also maybe could change the financial legacy of his family. Even the fact that they all damn near gonna be millionaires off the NBA anyway. But
well, let me say this real quick before DJ go. I think it's important though to have the LeVar story because when you go out and put your own ideas out there, people gonna try to say it ain't shit. They're gonna try to say that I ain't rocking with it, and you got to be resilient enough to bounce through that because it's not all about putting a great idea out and everybody support it. That's not how it goes. You got to go out and take the lumps, and I think it tells the whole story. And like I kind of led in with, entrepreneurship ain't for everybody, bro. It ain't. You got to be built for it. You got to be tough because somebody gonna say your shit whack. Like T-shirt I made. I had to go through a process with like some shirts I put out to my members. Some they said it was whack, and I ain't gonna front it. Maybe not want to make shirts no more. But I'm like, all right, just because they don't like it, don't mean the next person don't like it, and they buy them. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be able to take the criticism if you want to ascend. So I don't think that's a bad thing per se.
Yeah,
where LeVar experience has been.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's important that we highlight that like people are going to talk shit about you, but you also still can be successful. You know what I mean? So it's like folks will talk trash about your shirt, and if you never put out another shirt or like it never comes to the light, then people will feel like maybe that's the way to do it, right? They don't know that there's another level, right? There's some adversity, there's some hurdle that you had to get over and that you got over it, and then now you're in a different position. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hey, brothers, I gotta say this, brothers, man. What I'm tired of these YouTubers and certain people who blame the father for the kids or for Zoe not playing this game. What do you always say, AB? You got to embrace pressure when you're a young player trying to become successful in the league. You can't go and say, your daddy did this, your daddy did that. Now, I'm not saying LeVar's right or wrong on certain things. All I'm saying is if Lonzo had the mindset starting out like a LaMelo of trying to get his, trying to worry about securing that bag so his family could be taken care of. He had that mindset, attack the basket, not worrying about if you're going to get injured again, not worrying about if you're going to miss free throws. If he got over that hurdle, everything will be fine. So it's not his father's fault that he's shooting 50% free throws. It's not his father's fault that he's not having an in-between game, mixing it with a mid-range. It's not his father's fault that unluckily he had injuries. It comes with the game. And that's all you and Ballfax are saying. Stop blaming the father of what the sons could have done.
Yeah.
Man, I'll take it a step deeper. Even if all that is LeVar's fault, you put your sons in position to be the number 2 pick in the draft, possibly number 1 pick in the draft, and the other kid to be a G League player. So even if everything you tell them is the wrong thing, you still win in life. Like, so that's what people miss on this whole boat, in my opinion, with the LeVar situation. You tell me a dad that put their kid in a fashion like Babe Ruth calling a shot, and that shit coming to fruition, of getting your kids to the highest level there is in basketball. There's nobody whose shot called it like that. Nobody.
No, that's a fact. And I think too that one of the biggest things that always killed me is this whole like narrative that LeVar put the target on his boy's back, and Lonzo and with the idea that Lonzo would have probably played better up until this point if there was not a target on his back. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that I don't think that he reached that full potential, but I don't think that he didn't reach that full potential because folks was just going extra hard on him night in and night out, 3-4 years into the league, and that has caused him to not get there. You feel me? To me, that sounds bananas. There's a dude on there who tried to give me this story. He's like, yo, I remember I went to the park and I was playing ball, and my homie's girl was talking trash. What's up, FYF Sports Debate?
How you doing?
Great. So he told the story. He said his homie's girl started hyping him up. His homie was killing, and he was hyping him up. So then they all started playing even harder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, imagine me being proud of the fact that the dude over here who brought his girl to the court, you know what I'm saying, like made me play better basketball than I was going to play just regardless of my own like internal inspiration and motivation. You know what I mean? So that to me, that's just bananas to think that NBA players who get paid the millions of dollars to play basketball decide to take it to another level just simply off the dude who he had never met before, his dad, who didn't say nothing about me, but he said something about somebody else. But I'm so inspired by it, I'm finna go out here and have the best game of my life. FYF Sports Debate, what's up, my man? Thanks for coming up, man. I watched the video that you had put out where you kind of reacted to the TicketTV debate, man. What can you share to the people some of your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, I mean, I knew going in it was like talking to a brick wall because I've known some of his like thoughts on the Ball family, and I know where a lot of those thoughts come from. And I know that, again, just being around NBA caliber teams and players and just personnel, I know that stuff that you read, and I even said this when you guys were on the show, is not always accurate. It doesn't align with what actually is happening. And any NBA, if you talk to any NBA player, they'll tell you an experience that they've had where a story came out that was just that they probably just laughed at, where they say that is like not close to what happened. And I think that happens with LeVar Ball. I think he gets misquoted at times. I think that they take snippets of what he says and they take it out of context just to get a headline. You know, this is why you have to go back and listen to the entire interview where he's talking sometimes, And they this is just how the media does things, and I think it just gets blown out of proportion in a way where people intentionally try to put him in a negative light at any turn. Like I said, you like you said, they don't talk about the positives, and there's a reason why they don't talk about the positives. But anytime they can get a questionable statement, or anytime he says something that they can chop up and say he's talking about LeBron, they'll put it out there quick, fast, in a hurry. So when I start to see that happen too much, I have to take a step back and I have to be like, hey, something ain't right here, because it like this it's just not adding up. Like, all of these positives are coming out of this family, all of these good things are happening, but all I see are these negative headlines. Something ain't adding up here. So I got to really reevaluate what's really going on. And when you sit back and when you reevaluate everything, he's actually doing a great job with his sons, and it's the media trying to separate the two. And I agree with Ballfax when he said that them trying to take Lonzo out from underneath his dad's like his dad's motivation or voice is what kind of held Lonzo back. He needs that. Like, some players need that hard coach on them. Like, I think Lonzo would thrive under a Tom Thibodeau, somebody who's real hard on him, somebody who's going to get up under him. Like, he needs that type of coaching. Some players need that, while other players need to get baby. Like, when you have the Kevin Durant's, you might need to cater to their emotions and things of that nature. So, I mean, yeah, at the NBA level, I like what LeVar's done. I appreciate it, but when you're talking about that debate with TicketTV, I just knew it wasn't even a debate. It was a conversation where I knew he was going to just try harder to get his points across, as opposed to listening and hearing what you guys had to say. And you guys are the ones that know more than anybody.
And that's what it was. But you know what? It's just like I was saying. It's like if you go to First Take and you expect Stephen A. Smith at some point to start yelling,
Yeah,
and that's why you go there. Is when you get the LeVar Ball interview where it's him and Stephen A. just yelling at each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I kind of expected that to go there. So we, you just give it some time and you let those things flow. But it's like you made me think of when I was in college, right? I played football at junior college, then I was transferring to D1 somewhere, and I was committed to Ole Miss, right? And and I ended up decommitting from Ole Miss and then committing to go to Iowa State, right? And the folks at Ole Miss, what they wrote in a article, what hit the blogs in their whole like recruiting sector, was that they took the scholarship offer away from me because my grades wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
When that's not what happened. I like talked to the coach from Iowa State and he just sold it to me better than they did. You know what I mean? Right. But it's just like to save face on their end. That's the story that they put out. So then like their fan base was running with this ideal of like, I just didn't make it. You know what I mean? So I think that is like what you see a lot in the with the media. You go back to LeVar and the Jeff Goodman situation, where they in Lithuania and there's some beef, and LeVar and them is like, yo, he put out the interview or asked him some questions that he wasn't supposed to ask him, and then they sent him home. And then and then Jeff Goodman is giving you the story as if he packed his bags and decided he was leaving on his own. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even though he already said that he was intending to be in Lithuania until they left. You know what I mean? So it's just how they give you these different stories. And then now you even look to this day, I think DKM did an interview with Jeff Goodman, and he was trying to give some critique on LaMelo Ball. And then he had to say that he actually had not watched LaMelo Ball play in like 2 or 3 years. So it's like they do that stuff all of the time, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, I mean, I understand if your channel is like Ballfax said in the comments, if it's your channel to promote the conflict, to entice the debate, yeah, that's fine. But I just don't like debating from a false premise to start with. Like, at least start with the truth. Mm-hmm. Let's start with something truthful and then debate from there. But don't start on a lie. And now we have to debate the lie itself to even proceed. And so, I mean, if you don't like LeVar, let's state the factual things and reasons why you don't like LeVar. Maybe you just don't like his involvement because you don't think parents should be involved that much or something like that. Maybe you think he's juggling too many things, which I think LeVar even at one point in time admitted he was trying to juggle too much. I mean, there are many things that you can criticize LeVar Ball for that are factual, but don't make up things that are false and then try to criticize him for the fake things like Lonzo Ball being a failure or not being, his NBA career is a failure. That's a fault. That's not true. His NBA career is not a failure. He's going to be a 10 to 12 year pro, if not longer. He's going to get a big extension. Other NBA players say he could potentially be an all-star. That's not a failure. So that's what I mean right there. It's just hard to debate from a false premise. And I think that's where he kind of starts from sometimes.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead, AB.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like what you were saying about your situation with Ole Miss and Iowa State, experienced the same thing when I played overseas. I left my team in Portugal. I just couldn't get down with the coach, couldn't get down with the team. I remember getting blamed for a game for losing. We lost about 50, and I had like 20 and 15, and they blamed the game on me being the American. You know how that game go. So, and then I left the team. I couldn't take it no more. I went home, but then my agent was like, he still was playing. He's like, man, come try out for my team in Germany. So I was like, you know what? Well, I was going home. He's like, start this. All right, cool. I'm going to go to Germany, make the team, never left. And then in the little ranks, in the media, they were saying that I wasn't good enough, so I got cut from my team in Portugal. And I'm only playing for my German team because of my agent plays for him. And it's just like, nah, that's not what happened, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just like, nah, that's not what happened at all. But that's how the media game goes. So yeah, you got to understand, like the fix is in, like, because most people, like everybody's been saying, they don't go through all the information. They get the talking points and they run with that. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? And so it's just unfortunate that people are so privy to listening to like small little, because I mean, everybody wants the meat and potatoes of the situation, even if it's true or not. And people run with those and they pass it as truth. And that's really their perception of something they have no real intimate knowledge about, man. And so it's kind of frustrating being a supporter, you know what I mean, of the movement because of what's really afoot, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think too is it's like the misinformation, right? But then it's also when there are elements to it that are supposed to be entertaining, right? There's elements to it that are supposed to like rile you up a little bit. And it's like when you allow the entertainment value of it to like affect you to a place where you like start attacking people personally, right? So I think in that conversation, that was one of Tickets, that was one of his biggest gripes, I believe, is that folks were calling him a hater because he was critical of LeVar, critical of Lonzo, but like not acknowledging the fact that folks are calling you a hater because you call him yellow tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like because you saying like little shit like that. You know what I mean? Like you're not just saying like, oh, you made a bad move. You saying like, yo, your breath stink. You know what I'm saying? Like hater shit, you know? And which is whatever. But then it's like when that vitriol is based in like either falsified narratives or like, you know what I mean, BS, right? And I want to shift this into some of the stuff, and DJ had made a video about this earlier and kind of put it on my radar, but it's what like your boy James Wiseman. So like right now the media is saying like James Wiseman is kind of like, nah, bro, I don't want to play in Minnesota. Right? and folks are like, you know what, that makes sense. Like he's supposed to say that. Like why they got Karl Anthony Towns? He don't want to, right? So we see this time after time where Kobe was like, I don't want to play in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Eli Manning didn't want to play in San Diego. Like this happens. And then with Eli, his dad was involved in all of that stuff too. And so we see it happen, but then we look at 2 or 3 months ago where allegedly where LeVar said he didn't want to see Melo playing for Golden State because he didn't want him coming off the bench or none of that stuff. They already got too much firepower, which when I hear people talk about the James Wiseman thing, they were like, yo, it makes sense. Why would he want to play with under Karl Anthony Towns when they do the same position? He needs his own team where they can roll it out and he could be the head dog. And that's exactly the same thing that LeVar was saying about the Golden State thing. But what I believe is the difference is the system and the way that the media and all of that stuff works is like if LeVar says that, then Brian Windhurst can't give you a secret source. You know what I'm saying? Woj can't drop a Woj bomb on you and you like usurp the way that things are supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, AB. There's so many things you could pull from that. So much hypocrisy. LaMelo Ball, who is one of the youngest, probably the youngest player in this draft, he's held to a higher standard because they're trying to prove a point. They complain about his shot, but they don't bring up when he shoots a set shot, he shoots around 39 to 40%. They never talk about his shot selection. That's the reason why he shot about 20+%. See, this is what FYF Sports Debate was talking about earlier today. We don't do enough research, and we go off of what the media says instead of going off what our information tells us. And that's why people either debate poorly or receive the information wrong.
Agree.
Yeah. Now, I think that's a big part of it. And this is one of the things that I always say is one of the things that I learned from traveling with those guys is that if something hits the media or you learn about something from the media, like it's intentional from somebody. Like there's nothing that's coming out. Brian Windhurst is not dropping that information about James Wiseman because just randomly, right? It ain't nothing that he overheard somewhere or did some, and somebody told him that with the intention for that to be put out for folks to talk about it, right? There's so many things that happen behind the scenes that like are newsworthy that you never hear about because folks don't want you to hear about it, right? So you get it's like I always say this shit about the JBA. It's like there are things that happen behind the scenes in the JBA that would be like mind-blowing, like would be national news stories, but nah, nobody finna let that get out because it's not, you know what I mean? And because folks know what they would run with that. But all of the things that were positive and all of that stuff, you didn't hear about them because folks didn't want you to know about that. When Melo slapped oh boy, that was everywhere, right? The ESPN folks talking about they played it a ton of times. When Melo is crossing people up, you don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Dunking on people, catching lobs off the rim, you don't see those things. But you know what I mean? So when you are, and I say all that to say, when you are consistently getting fed something negative, you have to realize that there's an intention behind that. You're getting the negative thing because somebody wants you to have the negative thing. And it's like FYF said, it's like once you get a certain amount of doses of negativity in a story where there's some positive options, then you have to start to wonder, why am I getting so much negative stuff, right? Then that's when you do the extra research that DJ is talking about, and you start to realize that the percentages look a certain way, and like you only getting half of the story. When you start to realize when posts talk about Jordan and 6 championships undefeated, but then realistically, my dog got bounced out of the first round a few different times. Why ain't nobody talking about that? You know what I'm saying? These are the different things that come up. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing. I got to get up out of here, but it's like what you said right there is true because we even see it right now. I mean, I saw a report today said the Warriors they love Obi Toppin. They probably gonna take him with the number 2 pick, but we all know in reality what they trying to do. They trying to boost up the idea that they want this guy, maybe get a team to overpay for that pick so they can trade down. So and we see that every year in the draft, teams put out these narratives that the Boston Celtics were masterful at it. That's how they finessed the Sixers, at putting out these narratives that they love certain players. So we see it even in a small scale when we're just talking about the draft. So it won't surprise me if I see that with certain people, like LeVar Ball and with all of the other forces that don't want to see this man succeed, especially with the big baller brand. We know the implications of that. If he succeeds with that, what the implications for that could lead to, as far as affecting Nike and all of these other big time companies. So that's why I say, man. That's why I always tell everybody to deal with, man. Let's just not come with the same talking points. Like, do more research, come back with a better debate so we can have a better conversation, because just talking about the same media narratives all the time, it just kind of gets old and repetitive. And again, like, it's just hard for, Tick will be the first one to tell you that ESPN is a terrible source, but he'll use those ESPN talking points whenever he sees fit to create a certain narrative, like especially about LeVar Ball. So it's just do your due diligence, man. The same way you do due diligence when you're trying to defend Jordan or one of these other guys that you actually like. Just do your due diligence on everybody so you can have a better debate. But that's it. But hey, DJ, everybody in the chat, salute, man. I got to get out of here. Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can join soon.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yes, sir.
I really like being able to do this and have you come on and me go over there. As I was telling them earlier, I feel like it feels like, how you watch ESPN or FS1, they got First Take, they got First Things First.
Right.
You see the different personalities of Chris Broussard and you know what I mean, from show to different show. It feels like our own version of that in like our like YouTube community of sports talk shows. You know what I mean? So that's dope, man. So come back anytime, man, and I'll definitely pop in over there for sure.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. All right, y'all have a go.
All right, yep. Peace. For sure. Let me see, man. What else did I have on the? I always say this, bro. Every time I hop on here, I always say, man, this one ain't gonna be that long today. You feel me?
With 3 hours last time,
it's 3 hours.
Yeah. Boy, the marathon.
Yeah, that's it long. And the crazy thing about the last one too is about 3 hours, and it was not about. It was much about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like out there, we had we was all over the place, man.
We started freestyling.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was wild, man.
That's hilarious, man.
Man, what else is going on out here in the sports world, man? Let's see.
You talking basketball only, or what we doing?
Nah, man, we could talk this football. I'm trying to see. I could tell y'all. I could pull up for y'all what hoop jargon fantasy football team looking like. I know they out here struggling.
Man, I'll be forgetting to update my team, bro.
That's what they all say, man.
I'm in like 8 leagues, man. I run 2 of them. I'll be forgetting, man.
I forgot, man. That's
man,
why
I'm be hating, man, on my teams, bro.
Hey, man, when LaMelo Ball gets drafted, man, there's so many people saying they're gonna catch the games, man. That's how popular this dude is.
Yeah, man, for real.
No, I will pull up, man. I'm gonna try to pull up to a game or so. I don't think I've actually been to a Lonzo game yet. They came to the Pacers. They came to the Pacers a couple times, but I missed them.
Yeah, I've been to one when they played the Lakers Staples January. I went to that one.
Yeah.
He played all right that game, but yeah, it was dope, man. If you've never been to a game at the Staples Center, man, it is. Well, no, if you've never been to a Laker game at the Staples Center, I've since moving here, I've been to both. It is night and goddamn day, bro. It is night and day between a Laker and a goddamn Clippers game, man. So
yeah.
If you never get a chance, man, all everybody listening, go to a Lakers game. Even if you don't like the Lakers, go. It's like a Shakespearean experience at a Laker home game. Let me say that.
Nah, that's what's up. I need to check that out, man. I can imagine that is crazy, especially like right now. AD, LeBron, like that shit probably slaps right now.
Yeah.
I got a question for you here. AB and who? You think Van Gundy gonna let Lonzo play through his ups and downs?
You want to go first?
I feel like this is a tough question, right? Because this is what I was saying before, and we kind of briefly talked on this on some other the live streams. Is it just really depends on what the ups and downs is, right? I feel like I think that they brought Stan Van Gundy in because they are making a statement that the most important person on their squad is Zion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to get some of that play from him, right? We got the Zion is our like Dwight Howard style guy, basically. You know what I mean? We got the JJ Redick, and so I think that is the centerpiece. So it's like if Lonzo is hooping to a place where his ups and downs aren't affecting like the Zion show, then I think you let him hoop. But it's also like if he is hooping to where he was at like in the bubble, like it's just hard to let that happen if you're trying to like be successful and win, you know? Like your point guard, especially in today's NBA, ball facts in the building. In today's NBA, when your point guard is probably on a lot of teams, your primary scorer as well. Like if your point guard is not even the third option, like it's hard to then like what ups and downs are we gonna let you play through? You know what I mean? When we're expecting Zion to get buckets, Drew Holiday to get buckets, Brandon Ingram to get buckets. And so in the limited role that you could be in, if you're not performing in that, then like what? Then you know what I mean? Like that's just the hard part.
Well, I look at it like this. Well, first I want to say, Naveed, I do probably have merch still. And follow me on Twitter, bro. If you don't subscribe to the channel already, follow me on Twitter and DM me to remind me. My mind be everywhere. But with that being said, I would say, man, his comments a little disparaging about thinking it's going to be positive. I mean, before he took the team, he was saying, you know, you don't need Lonzo being the facilitator for that team. So I don't think that leads to a build of confidence about, you know, ideologically how he sees that team to be. So you cannot ignore the words coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
Now things may change once it's hypothetical, and then we got the actual job. Who knows? I just don't think it's real pressure for him to change his philosophy. I mean, Lonzo, you know, most people suffer from recency bias, and recency bias says that Lonzo ain't playing very well. So you want to come in and uproot what you previously saw from Alvin Gentry. So I don't think that bodes well for Lonzo as far as what Stan's going to do for him. And traditionally speaking, Stan, you know, he likes to move the ball and go up and down. I think in Detroit, he kind of switched up his philosophy a little bit. I hope the best for Zoe. I think Zoe's going to be the best version of himself. You know, like DJ talked about it. Many people talked about it. He had a full offseason this time, so he's going to be a better version. So hopefully what he sees will win him over. And he may change his initial stance, but I just don't think it bodes well based on what he initially said. You know what I mean? About Zoe and how you need to utilize him and what have you.
Yeah. Hey man, y'all hit the like button, man, while y'all in here. It's about 24 folks, and we done been up to about 30 tonight, and it's only 11 likes, man. If y'all really with the culture, you feel me? Ain't nobody even bought my AB the Hero sneakers yet. I got the the ball facts on the website as well. Y'all not really supporting the culture. You ain't even copped the shoes yet. Ball facts, what's up, man?
What's good, man? How y'all doing?
We doing good, man.
What's up?
Doing good, my brother.
Yeah, I had to jump on here. I was delayed, but I said, man, when I seen the title, I said, yeah, I'm definitely coming back because, I mean, like, TicketTV, the whole thing. Like, normally I wouldn't even get on no debate show like that because I'm not with the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to some people, it's just sports. You know what I'm saying? To some people, it's just views. To some people, it's solely about money, about themselves. And, you know, that just is what it is for their channel. Can't knock it. Now, the people like me, it's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. We see the media trying to erase the JBA, erase LeVar, erase Big Baller Brand. There is a reason they are doing this. And if we let them do this, it's going to be a negative for all of us. And I don't mean just us content creators. I'm talking about people, you know? So that's why I be like, don't ask me why I don't do negative stuff on the Ball family. It's already enough of it. Don't ask me why I post the JBA. You know what I'm saying? I promote ownership, family, progression. This is why I appreciate all you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't let the mainstream be the only one who tells the story, because they're going to leave all kind of stuff out.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier is if not us, it just won't happen, right? I think that it's important for folks to realize. Somebody was trying to debate me down in my comment section the other day about the brand being over because it's just relying on like hardcore fans or hardcore whoop, whoop. And I'm trying to explain, like, that's what any brand needs, right? Like if you have a business or have a brand, an entity, whatever you got, if you can start with the fact that you have some hardcore supporters, then you're in a better place than most folks who like have nobody. You know what I mean? If you look at the YouTube game, for every channel that gets 100 views on a video, there's probably 1,000 channels that have 0 views. You know what I'm saying? So like being able to just get 100 people to consistently say that I want to watch your content is big. Being able to get 100, 1,000, 2,000, 100,000 people to say I want to consistently buy your product is big. And if you listen to the media when it comes to the brand, you would swear nobody buy the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it is important for folks like us to be able to be like, actually, you know what I'm saying? I got a few t-shirts myself. Actually, you know,
for real.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's just it's crazy, man. Did you Ball Facts? Did you hear about the James Wiseman situation?
Yeah, I seen that on DJ's channel. So it's funny because when you see it, then you remember all the other athletes who had something to say about not wanting to go somewhere, and you have to remind yourself, like, oh yeah, they try to make us feel like LeVar Ball is the only one who did that with Lonzo with the Lakers. No, this stuff been going on forever. It's just, you know, the way they spin it.
Mm-hmm. And I hate to, I know that we keep talking about the TicketTV thing. That's even in the title. But after we had our like little debate, I seen that he came out with another video that was like where he was basically saying like, "Yo, I had Ball Facts and ABD Hero in here. They was capping for LeVar," but he just said this new. He was talking about an interview where LeVar mentioned again that he didn't want him to play for the Golden State Warriors.
The Lakers,
yeah, it was the Lakers this time, and it's so crazy because I wonder how many people bring that same intensity when you're talking about this James Wiseman situation where he's like, I'm not even coming to work out. Y'all got the #1 pick, and I could care less. I don't even want to come work out for y'all. To me, that's it. Obviously, it makes sense, but it's this. And you know what, man? I feel like that's the tough part, right? Is I don't want to say that deserves some type of vitriol, but I think that it speaks to why the shit that LeVar Ball has said is not as crazy as folks make it out to be. You know what I mean? Like if you understand the James Wiseman situation, you could understand easily why LaMelo Ball going to Golden State might not be in his best interest if you his father and you want to actually see him play as much as you believe he should play.
Yeah, and you know his
man,
game.
I'm gonna take another level, man. That most people. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Hujari.
Man, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take it a level that most people probably don't even know. Like, I'm gonna say this without going too deep. Subliminally, a lot of people do not respect the patriarchy. And in patriarchy, I mean the father basically presiding over, like, you know, the system or what have you. Because in our system, think about if Kevin Durant mama stated what she stated about KD. Would any news station bash her?
No.
Answer that for me. Would anybody bash her?
No.
if Draymond Green's mother, who's very vocal, stepped out and said Draymond Green better than everybody on the Warriors team, would any news station bash her?
No, they would laugh.
You're
I think
taught
they
to
would
respect
laugh.
Big Mama. You taught to respect your, the female order. I grew up in a family where the matriarchy was dominant. So that mirrors, you see it time and time again, especially in our Black community. You see it a lot. So when the dude speaks unapologetically, people are naturally gonna have a little bit of rejection to it because that's not what they're used to. So you'll see cats over and over disrespect that type of order, and that's why it's like a lifetime. You know what I mean? A lifetime antipathy that you have for LeVar, and you don't even know why. It's just because you've been taught that way your whole life, and that's all the only way you understand things. And so it's crazy. And the only time that LeVar got actual support from most folks was like when he went up against Christine Leahy. You know what I mean? Going against a little dainty white girl. Like they'll support that, but then when you just speaking, kingship over your family, a lot of people just gonna always struggle with that fundamentally because they don't even understand where that energy comes from. And I think that's one of the biggest things that holds LeVar, holds his words against his kids, and they actively root for their kids not to succeed. And I think it's a damn shame, to be honest.
Facts. Now we get into the facts. And the crazy thing is, LeVar did that interview. That interview was. Can you hear me? DJ, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Be right. Okay, what's going on here?
Let me see.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So AB probably just hit his camera for a little bit. But anyway, since you can still hear me, are we still live? Yeah, say live.
Hey, what's up, man?
Are we back?
Y'all been back. Y'all been good.
Anyway, I wanted to. Yeah, we've been good. I wanted to say LeVar. He did that interview, right, AB? Mm-hmm. And that interview was like an hour long.
That's my 2 cents, man. It's just some people just fundamentally gonna always dissent against that patriarchal spirit, and we see it emanating I don't want to go again too deep, but Black Lives Matter, you read their website, it's not about patriarchal energy. So most people take that in, not even knowing. When the dude speaks too much forwardly, you're gonna get the different spirit, man. That's just how it goes, bro.
AB, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that interview LeVar did was more than an hour long, right? And the only thing they got from it and make a show about it is that he said Lonzo is he don't want no more sons on the Lakers. So we got all this content. He talked about his family, talked about Tina, talked about the upbringing of the boys. And if I do a video and I talk about most of the stuff that he talked about, I'm still going to have people in the comments saying, well, why don't you get to the facts? Because they want me to pick 5% of what LeVar said that was controversial and put it out there. But I'll make a video on what he 90% talks about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when I seen that second video from TicketTV, you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to him, but that button you click and you say not interested, like, don't show me no more of this, because I'm like, we already know what you stand for. You know what I stand for. You trying to bait us back in. You know what I'm saying? The Triple B Mafia, we not going for that. You know what I'm saying? We see what it is, and that's it.
Hope jargon. You all right, man?
Bro, he cannot hear me. That's why I keep thinking that something's wrong, because he don't know what's going on.
Oh, I can hear you fine.
But yeah, ball facts, man. You hit it on the nail, man. These people don't want no facts. They want to take a little clips, turn it to their own narrative, and create YouTube content instead of having drawn out answers. Now, some people that listen to my channel are first-time listeners. They'll go on my channel and say, DJ, your videos are too nerdy. You have too much information. It's all drawn off. You're not trying to, you don't have a high-pitched voice. You speaking like a monotone. That's what I want my content to be about. Because I don't want to be like every other YouTuber and just have a clickbait title and go forth with it and have everybody jump on my channel. You know, I'm not trying to have it like that. But there's good things when you do things right. And that's why I enjoy AB the Heroes channel, Hoop Jargon, Ball Facts. It's all needed, man. It's truly all needed. And my boy, 4 Hour Vision in the building, Memphis.
Yes, the homie.
Yeah.
What's happening, my guy?
He frozen.
I can see him.
Oh, he ain't moving on my screen.
He moving on mine.
Yeah, he moving.
On mine too.
Okay, then I'm frozen.
Yeah. Nah, we get. He muted though.
Yeah.
There you go. This is my
come
fault.
on. Hey man, y'all can't be on the channel with all these technical difficulties, man. I'd have disappeared for 5 minutes and stuff like.
How y'all doing though, man?
We good.
Doing good, man.
Good.
Hey man,
Hey,
I appreciate y'all checking out my IVD press page. You know, I've been had that joint for years. I've been doing just straight up like news and sports news and all that kind of stuff, man. And so I appreciate y'all checking out the links and checking out my page and kind of seeing what I've been doing, man.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I was looking at that and I asked you who wrote this because I was impressed, and you told me you wrote it. And I was like, man, I might have to start posting this on my community tab. Yeah, it was dope.
I appreciate it, bro. It's like the page started off of me doing like a lot of stuff around Memphis. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shows and events, and it ended up being about like world news and hip hop and sports and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got a chief editor for it right now outside of me, and I've been working on some stuff. I got some inside stuff I've been working on with it, man. So all this stuff gonna come to the light real soon.
Yeah, man. It looked polished, definitely.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, bro. I got the .com. I've been had it for years, man, but I've been kind of throwing it to the side because of other business adventures and stuff like that. But now it's time for me to just go ahead and just do everything in full, and this is a good time, especially getting up with y'all, man. You know, it inspired a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? That I was sitting back on this stuff that I just need to put it all into fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. So what y'all got going on here, man?
Man, you done missed it. I'm gonna tell you, man. I said when I got on, I was only gonna be on here for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour and a half in now.
That never works. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hoops, man, you in that jersey right now, man. You remind me so much of Odom, dog. I'm like, dude, it's crazy, man. Like,
Oh my gosh.
you remind
He
me of
do
Odom
look
with
like
that
Lamar
jersey.
Odom.
Nah, I ain't saying you look like him. I'm just saying,
Bro,
I never seen it. When you said it, I'm like, what?
bro, it's a true story. I'll keep it quick since Halloween just passed. 4 years ago, I went as Lamar Odom to a random party in Houston. It's like a big party. Man, I almost won like $1,000 in a costume contest, bro. Like, and I wasn't even trying to even be in it. Like, I got like 6 phone numbers that night from all white women. Bro, I BS you not, bro. And I did not expect that type of
response. Yeah.
and then you got the height and everything, though. You know what I'm saying?
It look like
That shit was
Lamar.
And the thing is, you got that jersey on, man. You know, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that put like this. And honestly, that's a compliment. So it's like I like Lamar Odom was an awesome basketball player, man. And bro was cold, man. Like I really like bro. So that's a compliment.
It's my kinfolk, man. That's why I say.
Hey, so I know y'all probably already talked about it, but I did the what's the name that I sent y'all about Lonzo going to possibly going to LA Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, we haven't talked about it. Nope.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it's talks. Woj was the first person I seen write about it, and he was saying that it's a trade. It could be a big trade for him, Josh Hart, and somebody else to get Paul George in with the Pelicans.
I would love that.
Yeah, Woj reported it first, and then I went back and did my research, and I kind of that's what Ball Facts talking about. What I wrote up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, mm-hmm.
Hey, question. When did Woj write that in?
Whatever day I put it out. Was it yesterday?
Could you go ahead and break that down? So what was the talks?
Okay, I had to look it up. Yeah. Matter of fact, I can send it to you, and you probably can. Can you put it up on the screen?
Pull it out. Yeah.
I'm interested, brother.
It's in your inbox. It's already in your inbox.
Pull it up. I got it.
Patrick Beverly, like, no.
Yeah. So let me see. All right. Let me look this up. From what I remember. All right. Bum.
Yeah.
Hey, I got the face. All right, here we go. The IVD press, you know what I'm saying? New Orleans Pelicans trading the Lonzo Ball package for Paul George. To me, right there, that sounds wild to think that they would give up Paul George for Lonzo. Oh, damn, we in here. There's a lot of folks down here. DKM in the building.
Okay.
Shout out GKM.
Okay, and Just Shade in the building.
Oh, then we
What's
packed.
up?
We in here about 30 deep. Just Shade bringing that female, you know what I'm saying, that energy, you feel me? It's a sausage party in here, so we appreciate you coming through. So let's see. All right, let's see. I know, right? Pelicans trading Lonzo Ball for Paul George. So just before I get into the rest of it, do we believe that Lonzo Ball, Paul George, straight up 1-for-1 trade is that a fair trade?
No.
No.
Come on, bro. Just read the article. That ain't what it says.
No.
Okay. I know. I just said.
I didn't write that.
Do we think that Paul George or Lonzo Ball is too valuable? Which one of y'all?
Paul George is too valuable.
Even though look at him in the playoffs, he was not that good.
But he's a good player.
Neither was Lonzo.
They were shooting this.
Look as though in the bubble.
Yeah, but that's different. Paul George was worse, most recent.
His team never got bunked up in the regular season.
Well, you win that one.
Okay. All right. So New Orleans Pelicans, Paul George, Drew Holiday. Let's see. Paul George, number 13, Los Angeles Clippers drives past Drew Holiday in the New Orleans Pelicans. Hold on, what the trade detail? Lonzo Ball trade Los Angeles Clippers for George. LA Clippers huffed and puffed after the playoffs was over. Steve Ballmer reportedly was very unhappy with the team's results. He promised big change and unexpectedly made it by firing longtime coach Doc Rivers. But would Ballmer like to shake things up even more? Then there's a report that Kawhi Leonard has been privately clamoring for a new point guard, a better offensive player than Pat Beverly.
No.
Who is mainly a defensive specialist. Now, here's the question. A Lonzo Ball, Pat Beverly trade straight up. That's fair?
I'll do it.
No, Lonzo worth way more than that.
That's what I'm saying. I'll trade. Like, I'll trade for Pat Beverly for Lonzo.
Hey,
I'm
not trying to be that guy. But after the bubble, man, that could just be enough.
Okay.
Nah, y'all tweaking.
I like Lonzo going back to LA. I like him going to the Clippers.
I love that. Another second question. Is there a world where Patrick Beverly and Lonzo Ball can play on the same team after the game one beef?
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
They grown men, of course they can.
Gang won't beat.
Dude, when Lonzo's first game in the NBA and Pat Beverly was trying to punk him.
That was years
theater,
ago.
bro. That's
Dude,
theater, dog.
all right. So
That's
did Pat Beverly owe Lonzo a fair one before they like squash it though?
Nah,
Hey,
they don't
B,
owe
what
each
are you
other.
on?
You don't think so?
Where these
Nah,
questions coming from?
Beverly does that against anyone.
Listen, man. If Lonzo go to the Clippers with JJ Redick and Paul George gone, they gonna pick the Clippers. Gonna pick somebody else up too. I can see them really being contenders next year.
Yeah.
But they got enough to be contenders. They just have to not be complete trash already.
Yeah.
Right.
They got enough right now.
Yeah.
I guess they would have to pick somebody else up, right? So what made the Clippers so much a favorite this year was they had Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like, you need somebody else in there.
You got Lou Williams. You don't need nobody else, honestly.
But to be considered, Lou Williams was on the team this year and they got bounced out. So
with two things, the bubble messed the Clippers up because
He went to the stripper club.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you can go.
No, I'm saying the Clippers was not fully invested in the bubble, so that we got to keep that in mind. Like Lou Wills leaving, Montrezl Harrell leaving. I think Pat Bev was late to the bubble, so you had dissension amongst the ranks. So you can't just hold everything in a vacuum. You got to understand the points. If everybody on the same cohesion, it could work. Secondly, they talk about Kawhi Leonard talking about this. When has Kawhi Leonard ever showed his hand at all?
Never.
It says privately. It says privately clamoring.
Exactly. So how can his family has to tell? His family had not been telling. So that sounds like conjecture, bro.
Mm-hmm. It may do, but like I said, when I saw Woj reported, I did some more research in it because that was actually him saying that.
Yeah.
Like I got that in particular quote from Woj that it was Kawhi was secretly, and it's like whatever Woj say right now, it's just believable.
Certain stuff, like conjecture is conjecture though, bro. It's like my man was saying before he got off. Everybody putting these reports out hoping something stick, and it's like Kawhi has never shown to leak his information as far as recency. So you know what I'm saying, you got to keep all that stuff in the mind.
Yeah, and like I said, I ain't saying this is fact. All of this stuff is based off opinion. So even when I write off of opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, if I missed something, has Woj tweeted something about Paul George trade for Lonzo?
You said what now?
Yeah.
DK. For those who can't understand the Scottish accent, yes, I'll do the translation. Yeah, basically, Woj. Me and DK have been cool for a minute now, so I understand everything you're saying. Woj is talking about something in the works.
I'm glad y'all
JJ Redick, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Harder.
I'm gonna say I'm glad y'all cool. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But all right. That would be a plot twist of the century to have Lonzo in LA, but not with the Lakers. Like nobody would have seen that one coming. Here's my question though. In this part here,
where'd they say it? The Woj said this.
According to Fahara.
Yeah, I read it. I hope I can pull it up. I read it straight from World.
No, actually, you guys saw the state of my phone like the last few days.
Yeah,
I remember I came on here and showed you my phone, so I've been at the look for the last 2-3 days. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man, that phone. Yeah.
Here's my question though. When they talk about let's see, in this trade, the Clippers get a starting point guard and elite shooter off their bench, as well as a wing who. Oh, all right. So the 3-and-D wing is Darius Miller, who they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. All right. And this trade is all of that for just straight up Paul George.
Yep.
And that the Pelicans, do you take that trade?
Huh?
You have to at this point. I mean,
to me, that's a terrible trade for the Pelicans.
If
you I can't coexist.
Let me read this. The LA Clippers.
Here, if you think about their roster as constructed, right? And they would have to move a lot of pieces. Brandon Ingram, Paul George, Zion,
don't
and
sense.
Drew Holiday. That don't make sense. Yeah.
They got enough wings.
It don't make sense to me either. In the S point, that's why I put it out like that because
Yeah,
I'm reading it as I'm going. I'm like, yo, that's crazy if they really working on something like that. And I was talking to what's his name? I was talking
Who's
to Jay-Z Hoops about it. I was talking to Jay-Z Hoops about it. Like we had a whole long conversation about it. Like to me, it don't make sense in that aspect to do that, but that's the information that I read. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it don't
Just
sound
let-
smart at all, but there's reported. It's too far down my timeline now, man.
Okay.
I can't find the watch tweet or anything related to that.
Here's what I'll say is I believe if the Clippers, to me, it makes more sense if the Clippers could figure out a way to keep Paul and do whatever they got to do to get Lonzo on the squad. He would be an excellent fit for that offense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because Kawhi is somebody who he's not trying to like dribble the ball up the court and then hold it. You know what I mean? He want to play off the ball heavy. Paul
Well,
probably.
sometimes he been doing that. If you watch,
Yeah, but is he doing that because who else is going to dribble it up? Or you know what I'm saying? Like with any of these other teams, if you look at the teams that he won championships with, they already had a solid point guard. You look at Toronto, they had Kyle Lowry, the Spurs, Tony Parker, they had ball handlers and Manu Ginobili. And so I could think last year. All right, here we go.
Somebody else reporting on it. NBA rumor: five players traded to the Clippers, targeting all season.
You got
bro, go and send me all that.
send it. Yeah, send it to me on the Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you now.
All right.
Like
one
thing I do my research before I put out news.
There you go.
Brother, that to me too.
Honestly, that's what we've been talking about all day is doing the research. You know what I'm saying? Earlier we were talking about the ticket TV debates and some of the lack of research that folks had in those conversations. But what's up, Just Shay, man? What you wanted to hop on here and talk about?
Oh, the ticket TV thing, but I seen that y'all was already talking about it. I wanted to strangle him the other night. No, I'm just saying I just I like sports in general. I take a look at everybody's podcasts or their opinions on things. And one thing that's frustrating to me is the reporter from Charlotte, this rumor about, LaMelo Ball not having good interviews. I'm like, nobody's doing the proper research in terms of making sure that he's an actual verified source. People like Woj and stuff to instantly find out, what teams he's actually interviewed with and their opinions on them. I'm pretty sure they would tell, especially Golden State, if he had a horrible interview or Minnesota. I just think people don't want him to go number one. So they're coming out with these fake reports about he's not doing good in interviews.
Yeah. No, I think that's a consensus between everybody on here that is definitely not a real report. Whoever that was, we know that he wasn't doing a Fahara level of investigation before he dropped that information.
Yeah, if you sit up there and watch First Take and then get on, I'm sorry, if you get on there and if you watch First Take and then come to debate about LeVar Ball, you ain't gonna have no facts.
Mm-hmm.
See, this another somebody reporting about the LA Clippers here, so it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get this valuable information before I go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even before I start typing it.
All right, so let's check it out. 5 players,
which is good.
LA Clippers must target. Oh, I see. This is. I see what you're saying. So this is folks who they should get. Right though, Lonzo Ball number 5. I was trying flashes of brilliance in regular season this year. Lonzo is terrible outing in the bubble. 3-point percentage. All right, let's see. Derrick Rose. Oh, but see, this is not like a 5-person trade. This is like, yo, if y'all trying to get better, these are 5 guys you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that now.
Yeah.
hmm But that I think that just shit, they would be a much better team if they could figure out a way to get Lonzo in there. And I think the gift and the curse of his bubble performance is that most people still believe in him, like that he has another level, right? And the Clippers probably more than anybody believe that, like we already said on this call, that like the bubble affected them. They didn't even want to play in the bubble, so they already all played pretty bad in the bubble because they didn't want to be there. So he probably got the best excuse with them of like, yo, y'all just the same way y'all was struggling, I was struggling too. So I can see them being able to look past it.
But
Drew
can I ask
Holiday.
you something?
All right, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you. I know the whole team played terrible along with the terrible rotations and our district being terrible. But for somebody like Lonzo, where there was questions that we all kind of posed ourselves as fans of his, do you think he could really afford to play as terrible as he played in the bubble? I mean, he did have a good season prior to that, but still, you going into the bubble. They made it so, the Pelicans can earn that eighth seed, even though they didn't end up earning it. So could he really afford to play terrible like he did?
I think that, to me, and I've said this before, is that based on his play in the bubble, like I think that he put himself in a situation where he is not in the untouchable lineup. So before that, him and Zion, that connection looked like the future. The way that he played in the bubble, it kind of put him in a situation like where he, like you said, couldn't necessarily afford to have that. Like he could have played not as good as he was playing before the bubble, but like he played at a level to where like he could be in whatever conversation. And so I do think that it hurt him a lot, but I think that he got so much upside and potential to be a piece on the right team. I just think that they have limited what folks will expect from him going forward, which sucks for like folks like us who believe in his game. So like the next coach, like for instance, if he go to like the Clippers, right? What folks want to see from Lonzo, from my perspective, is him to average, let's say, 20 points a game. Like elite Lonzo is 20 plus points a game, damn near a triple double with 20 points, right? We want to see him with 10 assists, 8 to 9 boards, and 20 points. If he go to the Clippers, I can see him with the assist and maybe the boards, but he's never going to get to the point total that we would have expected him to have. You know what I'm saying? And I think that works for him in their eyes, but for us as fans who want to see Lonzo be an all-star and do all of these great things, I think that bubble hurt him in that way.
Yeah, I did say something else too. But like the thing is, man, I wouldn't be surprised, like for real, if we seen something like that happen. Like for real. Like based on I wish I could find the information, man. I sure had it. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. Like for real. I put that on like
I think it could happen. I think a couple of role players would have to, and some draft picks would have to be aligned with that trade. But it's possible. And if it happens, it would definitely be a boost for Lonzo's career. You know, I've been a Laker fan for years. I mean, years. But there'll be games where I'll root for Lonzo to do well. But I
already know where you're going.
I won't root for his team to win against the Lakers. I got too much purple and gold in my blood, man.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I
I'm a Bulls fan, so I ain't been had no love since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So when I figured out what the Ball family was and what they were doing, it's like I automatically became a fan. But like I said, by me being an entrepreneur, we had this conversation. It's like I can't help but support them people. Like Lonzo first year, like he was my favorite basketball player. I had never seen him play. Just based off the information, you know what I'm saying, how he got there, his family and all that kind of stuff. So I want him to win. I want the whole family to win, but you got to perform as well, you know, like for real,
Yeah.
like. And I understand, like they were saying, a lot of people saying it shot off and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people shot off, you know what I'm saying? But until he get that confidence, until he get that coach, until he get that coach that's confident in him, I'm telling you, like if he get that coach that believe in him and he believe in himself, like you can tell when he's down, like in his game, like he show his emotions through his game. You know what I'm saying? And if he feel like his coach believe in him, I believe that he'll be good.
You know what, man?
Quickly, what's the reporter's name?
The reporter for this, Aaron Keller Strauss.
Yeah, but background check. Hold up.
Yeah, do that background check. You know what though? I'll say, I don't know. My man say George Paul here, so we might have to.
Oh, man, I saw that.
I say that too.
Yeah,
I just say that. But you know what's the name? We call him
Yo,
George
that's
Paul,
crazy.
man.
That's low key that's low key disrespectful.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what?
This guy has 300 followers.
Oh, that mean that's a source right there. That's
That's
quality.
a source.
Hey, there was one day where DKM had only 300 followers, so don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
No, I'm not disrespecting them because it can be the low key people that leak it out. You know what I'm saying? It can be.
Right. I was just kidding. But I wanted to say this about ZO2. This is the thing with Lonzo. He plays great when he's having fun. Chino Hills, fun. UCLA, fun. Summer League, fun. Like when he would be playing good with Zion, him and Zion had like no competition between each other. It was literally like Zion looked at Lonzo like, yeah, you're the best at what you're doing, running and feeding the ball. And Lonzo looked at him like, you're the best at what you're doing. We can have fun. And when he was first with the Lakers, it wasn't even fun. You know, they had moments of fun, but there was like a lot of different things going on in between. The game wasn't just simplified fun. You know, some of the pressure was there, but also there was some competition in the pecking order as well. But if like Lonzo, Brandon Ingram closer and closer to Lonzo because they spend more time together. And Zion, so if they could just like that, if they start having fun, watch out because Lonzo is going to go to where we know he can go.
Can I ask you something though?
Yeah.
Go ahead, DK.
No, go ahead, Shay.
What? I never said anything.
No, ball facts. I'm gonna ask you something with that Lakers thing though. Do you feel as if that happened with the Lakers, the whole situation with the Lakers, because they signed LeBron in free agency? Because I had a feeling that's how it was gonna go anyway. When LeBron had came with Lonzo, I didn't see what everybody else was talking about because I've watched LeBron all the teams he was on in Cleveland, when he went to Miami. I think a lot of his player time, especially when he was with the Lakers, had to do with LeBron James. He wants to be the point guard for God's sakes and bring the ball up the court. And then Luke Walton wasn't a good coach or somebody that could assert and say, you're not going to do this. I need the ball to be in Lonzo's hands. He's not going to do that.
Oh, I agree with you because I think Luke Walton and he was a young coach. He's like almost the same age as LeBron. And then you bring him in and expect to have a new star point guard. It was a bad idea from the get-go. I'm with you. I knew when LeBron was coming to LA, okay, Lonzo likes LeBron, but LeBron likes LeBron. He likes to bring it up. He likes to, pass and be the one. It was a bad idea from the get-go, in my opinion, with that coach. You'd have to have a coach that understands that they can basically Doc Rivers or somebody with type of clout, the Spurs coach to say, LeBron, no, we're playing you off the ball. And LeBron not go to the front office and then they say, what LeBron wants, LeBron gets. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to do that to the coach of San Antonio. But Luke Walton, he's going to have to take a back seat, and it just is what it is. So it was just a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, Luke didn't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to one thing I learned about Lonzo game is when he's happy, you can see it on the floor. When he's excited, you can see him on the floor. Like he had the stage. The stage was his in high school. The stage was his in college. and he get to the NBA and he got a coach that don't believe in him. I mean, that's how I seen it. I feel like if he didn't have the confidence that he had, and he was hurt. I had to take that in consideration as well. Like he was hurt the first 2 years of his NBA career. So I think this year is the first year that he came out and he said he was 100%, and he performed like he was 100% into the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing,
Oh,
and this is what I always say is like I understand the whole idea of like, yo, the coach didn't believe in him. You know what I mean? And when that happens, it is hard to be a great player, right? I think that what do you say about the fact that like in the pressure of the coach not being able to, like, that first year, they weren't trying to win anything. You know what I mean? Like it was a ton of young guys. So the pecking order wasn't like we need to, like, LeBron wasn't there. And so what happened to make him not believe in him, right? Because you got Magic Johnson, who is the GM, who's saying, yo, you the face of the squad. You are the leader on our team. Your jersey going to be up in the rafters. You have the LA fan base who like is excited coming off of summer league. They feel like, oh, we got our guy for sure. He making everybody better. And then so I just don't know where it happened where all of a sudden Luke Walton was like, but I don't believe in this guy, right? For
Because
you know,
that shot was broke.
and
can
so it had to be at some point Lonzo wasn't like, potentially he wasn't like meeting the expectation, and then he stopped believing in it. But we see from the second game, they rolled the ball. He went for 29. Like they like, bro, this your squad. Like, go ahead and do what you got to do. So I don't know. So I believe I get that, but I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think about that first season that took the fun out of it? So in the summer league, this shit was fun. UCLA, it was fun, and then that first season, like something had to happen to me. It's like chicken or the egg. It's like either the coach started not believing in him, or he did something to make the coach not believe in him. Like, what do you think that was?
I honestly think that he was. I believe that honestly he was
politics
hurt. I think he was hurt.
and that.
I mean, I think it was a couple of things. So in summer league, you didn't have other guys like Brandon Ingram, who was number 2 pick, playing and things like that. So, you know, Magic may have said, this is your team, Lonzo, but that doesn't mean that the players agreed with that. And, you know, what Magic wanted, Luke Walton didn't always want. That's why he wanted Luke to be fired. And as well as I brought this up when I was on the line when we did the little us against TicketTV thing, that everybody was basically coming at Lonzo, telling him to separate from his dad. Now, that's the first time, you know, UCLA, if you watch the interview with the coach, this man seemed really cool with Lonzo and his dad. He had good things to say about LeVar and was happy. They wanted to get LaMelo to the program, so everything was fine. You know, Lonzo never had to pick, you know, them or my dad. So I felt like he was in a position that he had never been in as well. You know, you want to be cool with your dad. You love him. He helped you out. You know, he's taking care of your mom, your family, blah, blah, blah. But when you go back in the locker room, you got a different family. And, you know, the media gets to some of the NBA players and they saying something like this and little jokes about your dad. And now you feeling conflicted. And keep in mind, he's still a young man. What was he, 19? You know what I mean? Still a teenager. So, you know, I believe those are the things that made it not fun for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could say
But
that
the
as well.
Luke,
Go ahead.
no, I was just about to say, with Luke Walton, one thing that kind of makes me upset is the whole, and it's the same thing that kind of makes me upset with the Tom Thibodeau thing too. The whole Warriors thing with Luke Walton, I look at it like this: if you weren't there for the development of these players, or you know, in the off season working out with them, like with Curry and Clay, I don't understand why he gets some of that credit as far as the success. You know, they made him seem like he was Popovich coming to the Lakers, and I never liked that because I felt like he might have helped them grow, but not as much as I think it was Mike Woodson that had them. You know, yeah, they might have had kind of losing seasons and things like that. You know, as to why that's not why he got fired though. But you know, I don't like when I understand rings are rings and winning seasons are winning seasons, but Luke Walton should have never had that Lakers job. Personally, because what have you done, or whom have you developed to where you have the cachet to walk in and get that job?
Mm-hmm. For like the biggest franchise in the NBA, like that should be coveted for an elite resume. Not my homeboy who I'm trying to hook up with his first coaching job.
Yeah,
Right.
especially a head coaching job. He should have been an assistant or something first.
Hey, AB, what I said before on my channel, Lonzo Ball, and I've been constructively criticizing him in his bubble play, but I've been fair. Lonzo Ball is one of the few number 2 picks where the organization did not build around him. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Only a few draft picks, pick number 2, had that similar situation. D'Angelo Russell, first one, and then Brandon Ingram. But before them, the number 2 pick was always built around their team. The team put shooters around them, put players that fit their game. Lonzo Ball was one of the few top draft picks where the organization did not tell the team and didn't tell him that you're our point guard. We run everything by you. We live and die by you. Didn't do any of that. So he came into the league without that mindset that he had in UCLA because the organization failed him. The Lakers do not know how to build around young talent. All they know how to do is get some top-notch free agents and then let Clutch Sports take control, get AD, get KCP. They don't know how to build young talent.
Yeah, you know what? From what you just said, I mean, it makes sense, right? You said the only time this happened where the number 2 pick gets on the squad and they don't build around them. You named 2 players, and both those players was at the Lakers. So it's like they got a track record of doing that. You know what I mean? So it to me is one of those things where it's like when you got too much options, you don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? So like they were so bad that, you know what they always say in the draft is you're supposed to, like, a lot of times folks get caught up in just taking the best player available, right? And you're not necessarily trying to fit those pieces into your squad. You just like, damn, we number 2. We gotta take like this year's draft. Like you either taking like LaMelo or Anthony Edwards or James Wiseman 1, 2, and 3, right? Despite whatever your needs are, like you gotta, you know what I mean?
Denny.
Or who?
Denny.
Shut up, Danny.
Yeah. I know Shay, you last time you was super high on Obi Toppin as well. But so
yeah, I wouldn't take him that high though.
So I think that's probably that makes sense, man. They got stuck in a situation where you got a lot of high draft picks on one squad, and you trying to. And the crazy thing is that the dudes who was probably outperforming them all at a certain point was Kyle Kuzma. Obviously, most folks feel like that was because of Lonzo. But Kuzma was hooping, and he was damn near your second round pick, late first round, whatever he got drafted. So now you even more conflicted because you're like, damn, we got a dude who we got on an accident, and he kind of outperforming some of our top dudes.
So, you know what I really
LeBron messed him up.
The benefit of who?
I didn't like the Kuzma hype.
Yeah.
I think Kuzma was like
me either, and I still don't like it.
A few years, people thought he was better than he was because he was solid. He was quite well developed. He had, do you know what I mean? And people like on First Take and stuff, Stephen A was making like out of Lonzo, Kuzma, and Ingram, like Kuzma was the superstar. Kuzma was the keeper out of all the young core, as if he was like something above and beyond Ingram and Zoe, and I never agreed with that.
Yeah, and he's not. He's a glorified role player. Like really, you can't put him on his own team and he's going to be, like a Donovan Mitchell or something. He no.
Hey, y'all won't like this, and I don't think y'all will agree with this, but I think the Pelicans would have been better if they got Kuzma instead of Ingram, because I think that Lonzo, Kuzma, and Zion together would be running folks out the gym. I think they're young. They would gel together and be up and down the court. I think Ingram, though he is a better isolation player, I don't think he runs quite well enough with Lonzo Ball. I'm sorry, guys. I just believe that.
But I mean, that's not something to frown upon right there. Like that actually make some sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that's probably better. Yeah. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
But so when it comes to Lonzo being with the Lakers, and we saying like I was saying it's his confidence, and he wasn't just himself. He wasn't happy on the court. Like it's like, was it the first 2 years, like in general? Because Bron got there, I thought that was gonna lighten him up. Other than him, like I said, I understand the fact of being hurt, but I thought Bron would coming in would lighten him up, in which they set a record in LA. But other than that, they didn't make the playoffs. So what do y'all think?
Brown was hurt too, though.
Yeah, I got you.
I thought Lonzo was done the moment LeBron signed for the Lakers.
But he didn't.
I thought all of
fit
those
with
young,
them.
they were bait. Like Clutch Sports coming in, taking over the Lakers. Like they had that plan to get Anthony Davis long before like LeBron even went to LA. I think.
Yeah, but Clutch Sports was they had sunk their teeth into the Lakers even before that with the KCP.
Yeah, probably knowing that LeBron was gonna end up going there.
Yep. They were trying to set that up. John is in the building. What's up, John?
What's good, bro?
What's happening?
Chilling.
Man, there was somebody said something a while back, and I was going to say something in response to it, and I cannot remember what it was. Damn. I had to take notes on y'all.
I want to ask y'all about something too. I was reading up on which I think we kind of already talked about on the last one, but about Rondo going to LA to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think that's a actual thing that could be happening for them to try to get Chris Paul in LA?
I don't know how the contract works.
No, I think he might go back.
I think he might go back to Lakers.
No, I was just about to say he might, or go to Philly.
Philly with Ben Simmons?
I don't know.
They think they can play together.
I think he'll stay with the Lakers.
And Embiid, even though Simmons don't shoot threes.
I mean, if the Lakers lose Rondo, they can get Derrick Rose. That'd be a nice pickup too.
I think
I don't like that because Derrick Rose and LeBron didn't play good together when he was in Cleveland. I don't understand why people think that will work.
I don't think they count.
Derrick Rose.
I don't think that one counts.
Derrick Rose was balling in Cleveland. He twisted his ankle. He had a bad ankle injury, but they was hooping. He looked good
for about 4 games.
Yeah, a couple games.
But don't do Derrick Rose like that. He get disrespected a lot.
He gets.
Don't do Derrick Rose like that. You just said he wasn't about to fit with LeBron.
I think he'll match well with LeBron in LA.
Let's be honest, guys. LeBron's a two-man show. If you have 3 superstars, including LeBron, on the team, there's a third man who's going to suffer. That's why Rondo fits better. Kevin Love suffered. Chris Bosh suffered. You know, he can get 2 of them. You know, you can have 2 of them going. But LeBron, he just wants, not that he wants, but he does. He wants the ball. He wants to get it. He wants to do what he's got to do. So, you know, Derrick Rose dribbling down the court, shooting his floater, it's only going to be okay so many times.
I mean, if you watch the playoffs, and there are times where Rondo, especially in the finals, where Rondo is getting into like playoff Rondo mode and he grabbing boards and pushing up the court, and you can see LeBron looking at him like, "Bro, pass me the ball." You know what I mean? Like, he's like, "Bro, I'm dribbling up the court," and Rondo is just like, "Forget LeBron." You know what I'm saying? Even whenever you could tell that, like you could tell how Rondo really feel about Bron too. Whenever you remember when the AD hit the game winner, and Rondo was like, "I looked at Bron, he wouldn't even make eye contact with me, so I shot it over to AD." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he explained it too. He said the play was for LeBron.
Yeah,
and LeBron didn't even look his way. Like
yeah,
he was actually mad.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It felt like this nigga wouldn't even look over here. I was trying to give him the ball, and so I feel like there is that tension between those two, and they make it work. You know what I'm saying? I think that what's interesting though about Rondo either moving to the Clippers or something like that is it feels the same way as if Lonzo went there, right? Because Rondo is not necessarily a scorer guy like that, but he gonna facilitate, he gonna get people involved. The biggest difference is he gonna dribble it up and get folks involved. Lonzo gonna kick it up.
A couple of fights.
So yeah, he gonna start some fights. You take Patrick Beverly off, you get like Patrick Beverly light, but with some offense with a Rondo there. I can see that being a fit. I just think that whenever, if you remember this, Allen left the Celtics and went to play for Miami after LeBron them beat the Celtics. Rondo was one of the dudes who was like, "Yo, Ray Allen, you a sucker," and they was on Ray head about it. So for Rondo to leave the Lakers to go across the street, like that could be an indictment on his personal character.
I think when it comes down to those contracts and stuff, he might not have no control of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the NBA gonna be shook up this coming season, especially by the deadline. So a lot of these conversations that we having, I think they're probably like I said, it's just really just opinions now anyway. But I think the NBA gonna be shook up by the first game, especially by the deadline.
Yeah, but Rondo found a sweet spot. He trying to stay to get rings. Like, I think this brother is like, "Hey, I'm with the king right now." He putting out statements saying, "I will never let LeBron lose if I have a guy like him." Like, he know exactly what he doing. And King C, I see a comment about Jello. Of course, you put Jello with any of his brothers, you're gonna boost their confidence. He's a crutch. They leaned on this man for years.
That's a fact.
For our division, I got something to ask you though. Since you said you a Bulls fan and everything, how do you feel about Derrick Rose and Tom Thibodeau and people, giving him credit, for that MVP that Derrick Rose got under, while he was coaching him? Do you feel like that's fair, or do you think he would have got it without him?
I mean, I think he would have got it without him. I mean, he played ball. He played ball this season. Like, when you perform, you get awarded. You know what I'm saying? And I just think there's one of those situations where he just got awarded for what he did. So that's my answer. I mean, I think he deserved it. That's my opinion, though. I ain't saying it's right. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is based off opinions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Prime D Rose was the man.
I mean, cause you gotta think. Then I'm kind of it hits a place in my heart too, because D Rose played in Memphis. I'm from Memphis, so it's like all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I never even when everybody was putting D Rose down, you know what I'm saying, and he was hurt, and when he come back, he ain't gonna do this, man. I always stayed up, yo. Now he ain't from Memphis, but he played for the Tigers. So when it comes to D Rose, I wherever he go, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of him. I ain't saying I'm a fan of the team, but I'm a fan of him wherever he go.
Yeah. Okay. I got one final thing that I want to see with y'all, if I can get y'all thoughts on. I'm trying to find it over here on the Instagram. I'm gonna pull this up. My man Shaq came
You
out.
talking about the picture?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
God,
trying
what
to
he
find
do?
that. Let me find it. It was on
I
ESPN. I think I seen somebody post
I think I got it in my phone. Hold on. I got it in my phone, I think.
that link. I actually might have it on mine.
Yeah, Iverson, LeBron, Kobe,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Jordan.
don't even know what y'all talking about.
I'm gonna show it to you though, because I want to get your thoughts on this for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Mm-mm.
I might
You
have
got it?
I might. No, I don't got it.
Okay. Let me go and look. Let me go and get it. Cause I'm in this group, man, and I shared that joint when I first seen it.
So all right, here we go. Got it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Let me just retweet it to myself. All right. So here we go. Bam, 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 bam.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. So my man Shaq posted this right here. Now, if I can figure out how to work Twitter, I will pull it up. All right.
Mm.
Come on. Okay, here it is. Bam. My man Shaq posted this picture. Now, here's my question for y'all.
Right.
I want y'all to think objectively and logically. You feel me? And as I ask you this question, so now Shaq, this is Shaq 5 of the field. Who's stopping this squad? Do y'all think Prime Chino Hills versus these 5? Who do you got?
I got the squad over here.
You wow.
Bro, I can't see. I don't see nothing.
You don't see it on the screen?
I got the squad on screen.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Okay.
Ain't
But
no way.
here's what I'm saying though. All right, so these are obviously dudes legends. I'm talking about Zoe, Prime Zoe. So what I mean is this hypothetical. Zoe at his highest level that he get to in the NBA. Melo at his highest level he get to in the NBA.
Ooh.
Big O highest level he get to. Jello if he make it. You know what I'm saying? If they all reach their potential, like these dudes in this picture reach their potential, do we think that unity and that brotherhood of that Chino Hill squad at the highest level in the NBA, realizing that Melo a number 2 pick, Zoe a number 2 pick, Big O probably top 5,
Top 5, top 10 pick. Yeah.
like it could be legendary. I mean, is it a blowout? Is it a close?
Okay, here I go. Here I go first. In a 7-game series, it's gonna be 4-1. Chino Hills gets the first game by running them into the ground. Then they come up with the strategy, and it can't nobody stop Shaq. They slow the game down and just massacre him.
Massacre? Is that what you said?
Yeah, with Shaquille O'Neal. Ain't nobody stopping him. Big O, Eli, like you slow that game down, it's over with. Like Shaq is just different.
All right. Well, I guess I'm under him. So I'm under his picture. So you already know. I want Ball family to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's off top. I want the Ball family to win. But man, AI is my favorite player. So it's like I can't turn AI. Like I can't turn down that. Bro didn't win no championships, but the game he had. What's crazy is Lonzo long enough to hold him. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo stick them arms out. You know what I'm saying? Spread them legs. Like it's gonna be hard to get around Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? At the point guard position. But AI, he quick. Like before you know it, like Lonzo probably been tripped up. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get this to the kings of the game, man. It's hard for me to go against Jordan. It's hard for me to go against Kobe. But of all, it's hard for me to bet against Shaq. I just ain't nothing else like him.
Man, don't say that. Don't say I'm turning the ticket now. Chill out. Chill out. Don't do that.
I'm rooting for them ball boys though. Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
I'm rooting for them triple Bs, but I know they're gonna lose.
Here's what I'm saying though. I'm talking about Prime. Now I already said that.
Like 28-year-old LaMelo, exactly. 29. It's like 28 to 30, the Ball brothers. Yeah.
Like Melo, 5 All-Star games in.
Mm.
4 All-Star games in. Big O 5 All-Star games in.
You gotta take consideration. This them in they prime too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying though, is that I get the Shaq, but where's Shaq? Where's Shaq in his prime? LA's Shaq, right? Because they all right. So
LA.
let's go with them in this pictures here. You know, so that's Iverson definitely in his prime. That's Jordan prime, but that's still old Jordan. You feel me? That's Kobe.
It doesn't matter.
He's still scoring 40 points, man.
Listen, they gonna run him up the court. My man Ball Facts was the closest.
They'll get that first game,
offense.
and they'll lose the next 4. That's it.
Shaq gonna be tired. It ain't gonna be, especially if it's bubble where you gotta play every other night.
Hey, B,
Gotta travel.
Hey, B, you gotta be trolling just a little bit.
No, you don't think, come on, man. Shaq running up and down the court trying to play defense. You
That's
think?
why I'm
Shaq-
telling you.
Nah,
Shaq
you
ain't
what
gotta
they-
play no defense. He just
What they
stayed up
gonna do
on the
is they're gonna inbound it to LeBron, and
They
the
gonna try to
trap is not gonna work on LeBron. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
He's too big. He's too strong. He's too fast, and that is the way that they can really, you know what I'm saying, take down Chino Hills. If you don't stop that, you know, that first player and make them give it up every time to go your speed, it ain't gonna work, and that's all they got to do. Now, with that being said, we haven't seen prime Ball brothers. We haven't seen it, so it's almost like going on imaginary. We don't know what they're gonna be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I put it like this: even if they're beyond our expectations in their prime, Shaq, Kobe, and Jordan, I can't bet against that team. Like I just can't bet it. I mean, I believe I believe that that Jello just gonna drop Bron off. I don't think Bron gonna block his shots. Jello shoot too high in the air. I don't think they gonna block the shot. So all Jello gotta do is stay in the corner. But if he miss, cause they shoot a lot. So if they miss, you got Shaq down there. And he could see the floor from the other end. He could throw that jump all the way down to AI. He already on the other end of the floor.
Okay, let me show y'all what the deciding factor is real quick, man. Because I really walked y'all into a trap and y'all falling straight into it, man. Let me show y'all something. I hear y'all talking about Shaq, all of that stuff, right? And it's right. He a generational player, like shit, even more than that. Like not even generation, just like the game. He a 100-year type guy. Feel me, right?
Diesel.
But
Big O.
6'9", 245. Okay. Look at the strengths here. A strong mobile center who finishes above the rim with ease off 2 feet. Vertical spacer thanks to his hands and leaping ability. Tremendous offensive rebounder thanks to his quickness, strength, and bounce. Versatile defender with outstanding shot blocking instincts. Average 1.6 steals, 3.5 blocks per 40 minutes. Great timing. Can step out and switch onto the perimeter even if his technique isn't great. Generally stays down on shot fakes. Contest jumpers effectively. Excellent interior skills and sharp footwork, comfortable dropping and jump hooks over. So this is what I'm saying. I say all that to say prime Big O versus prime Shaq. Obviously, prime Shaq is better, but he gonna have to work on both ends. You feel me? And it's not gonna be easy. Big O is a long ass dude. We blocking shots. Shaq gonna throw the body in there, but the game probably gonna be way too fast for Shaq to really have time to settle in and throw his body in, because the speed of the Chino Hill offense is on the offensive end as well, right? So Shaq score, it's an inbound, and they on the other end trying to get a bucket.
Now, this is one thing you're right about, AB. If we doing 5-on-5 full court basketball for 48 minutes NBA game, no substitutes, Chino Hills, they're gonna have that stamina. And Shaq is going to be tired by halftime. No subs. Now we talking. Like if I think of it that way, now we talking. Now we playing 5-on-4 because Shaq ain't gonna be able to get up and down that court.
Nah, he never would eat that. Maybe Orlando Shaq, but not the Shaq. Nah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. You talking about with no substitutions?
Yeah, it's 5-on-5, full court. Come on. If it's it got to be full court or else, yeah. If it's half court, you know what I'm saying, 5-on-5, then they don't got no chance. But if they can run that prime Chino Hill style and throw that ball up and get buckets and Melo shooting from the half court, because also in their era, and this and sorry, I'm gonna pull it. No, let me see.
They weren't shooting the three like that.
They weren't shooting the three. They weren't scoring as fast. Jordan was scoring. He could give you 40, but yeah, he mid-range jumpers inside. Shaq giving you 2. If Shaq give you 2 every time and you go get 3 on the other end, then it's a long night for Shaq.
I put it like this, man. You can make, like, as far as that, you can make all the facts in the world. But I'm looking at Michael Jordan. I'm looking at Kobe Bryant. And I'm looking at Shaq. Like Shaq ain't even gotta go to the other end of the floor. Cause he can give you 2. Every time you get him the ball.
Don't.
Like old boy, he can't block Shaq dunk. Listen, Shaq hold his hand up. He hold his hand up.
They got
he right there at the rim.
The press is on. This is the press is on. LaMelo 6'8". You feel me? Prime Melo 6'8" in my head. You feel me? Zoe was 6'6". Jello ball facts already done let us know he's 6'7".
I'm still taking the OGs.
Listen, man, I promise, man, all of that sound. I'm rude for the ball boys. You see what I'm saying? I'm rude for them, but I cannot go against Kobe, Jordan, Shaq, and AI on the same team.
Bro.
I don't know, bro.
Wow.
If I got to bet money on it, I can't go with the Ball brothers. I'm gonna be rooting for them, but if I got money, I can't put it on the Ball brothers.
I want the Ball brothers to win. That's me personally. LeVar, you hear this? I want you boys to win. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm going for.
Here go my final question. Then we logging off for the night. Now add this in there. Sub out or have LeVar coming off the bench 6-man. Prime LeVar though.
We're talking about sophomore year in college.
Yeah,
right after JUCO. Yeah,
prime LeVar, the one who could beat Jordan 1-on-1. Now, come on now, it get interesting.
Who coming off the bench on Jordan's squad? Who coming off the bench?
Charles Barkley.
But not prime Charles Barkley.
No, everybody prime, man.
See Charles Barkley.
Man, Charles Barkley was so cold, bro. Every basketball card I got say 6'9" and he was 6'4". He that cold.
Yep, it's crazy.
It was crazy. It was insane what he was doing with Shaq at the Rockets. He was throwing Shaq around. That's why they got to fight.
This is why
Did you say he was 6'4"?
Yeah, he's 6'4".
No.
Yep.
He's 6'4".
No.
Yep. He even talked about it. He even talked about it. Cause they had Spud Webb at like 5'9" at one time.
See, now I gotta go look up these facts. You know what I'm saying? I can't have this name and not know this.
He said it with his own mouth. That's what I'm saying.
All right, man. You already gave us some questionable facts earlier tonight. Now, so
I'm telling you what the man said on TNT.
Let me see. All right,
man. You said you was gonna be done. Hey, man, I'm about to be out of here. Appreciate you for letting me on your platform, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, ball facts, man. Appreciate you coming. Yeah, bro. But here, I just want to also point out that you said it's crazy what Charles Barkley was doing with Shaq, and he was that small. So that to me, that mean that your boy Big O got a chance.
He do got a chance. He do.
I'm not saying that he didn't have a chance. I'm just saying that if Shaq dunked, he's not blocking the shot.
Was Charles blocking it? If Charles blocked it, I know Big O can.
He was fighting him. He was fighting him though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was fighting. I mean, they were fighting back then.
fighting hands on feet. But
Throwing in.
hey man, but for real though, I appreciate all y'all for coming through. You feel me?
And fam.
This is supposed to be a 20-minute live tonight. We on here for 2.5 hours.
As always.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hop off here. It's midnight around this way. Where y'all tuning in from?
New York.
New York.
Yeah. Trouble 7 over here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, I thought some other folks was on there. They already dropped off too. Yeah. Everybody gone. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because like I know for sure, like I know a lot of stuff with Charles Barkley. He say it because my basketball card say 5. It says 6'9", and then my later jumps when he went to the Rockets said 6'6". But he said he's 6'4", and I'm like, you look taller than 6'4", man.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But he said he was 6'4".
I seen something come across Instagram earlier where there's a game where he got like 30 rebounds or something stupid like that in one game. Let me see. They got him. Wikipedia got him at 6'6". Yeah. Basketball Reference got him at 6'6" too. But that honestly though, from that era, 6'6" mean about 6'4". You know what I mean? They definitely everybody inflated their stuff back then.
Yeah, because I was like, because the thing is, to me, he looks 6'6".
No.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta think you gotta put him next to Michael Jordan or something like that and really get the true, because Mike was sort of 6'6".
Yeah, Mike was 6'6".
You know what I'm saying? But but he said he was 5'4". Like I don't know if bro was joking or not. I'm like, yo, you look taller than 5'4".
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, they definitely 6'6" in this picture. I can tell by this picture right here.
Yeah, I got one here. They're the same height.
They're about the same height.
So what I'm saying, he looked 6'6" to me, but he was saying on a panel on TNT, he kept on saying he was 5'4". I'm like, dog, you look taller than 5'4". I mean, he was saying he was 6'4". I'm like, you look taller than 6'4", man.
Yeah. Mike got him by a little bit.
Yeah, he got him. He got him by a little bit though. But I don't think that's that many inches off though.
Yeah, no, I
6'4".
Mm-hmm.
He looked 6'6" to me. But he always said I'm 6'4". Well, Mike got him a little bit though, but I don't think it's 6'4" though.
Yeah, no, it ain't that much.
Probably about 6'5" and a half.
They love each other though, don't they? It's a lot of love in these pictures.
What the fuck?
They close.
I'm telling y'all though, watch these trades. Watch these trades coming into the season, man. I'm telling you, man, about trade deadline. I think a lot of these teams gonna be switched up for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that month after the draft is gonna be bananas.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah,
it's like we making all these, you know what I'm saying, predictions, and that's what we supposed to do. But man, I'm telling you, man, I do feel like this. Do you really think that that Melo is going number one? Because like how everything going right now, I think that he might be. I think that he might be coming. I want him to go one. But I don't know.
Well, it said the Wolves trained to pick, so they're not picking nobody number one. It seems like
the Wolves.
What I've been hearing, yeah, they're trained to pick. Or they said Wiseman's not going to be able to. Doesn't like the Timberwolves, something like that.
Yeah,
he wants to go to the Warriors. So I don't know what's going on with the draft right now. It's weird.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the team that if you got any sense, you're trying to get to the Warriors. And them top three, like that will affect your legacy as a whole if you can make it to that team. Like, because you're gonna come into the league and potentially make it to the playoffs your first year, and you having a shot at potentially like winning a title in your first 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Which would be bananas.
That'd be crazy, right?
I'm with it, man. Paul George, is he staying?
Yeah, I think they're gonna stay. I think he'll stay.
Yeah, he ain't.
I'm hoping he gonna stay because I like when I was reading about the Pelicans, I'm like, they don't really make sense to me. But I would love Lonzo to go back to LA though.
Yeah, I would love Lonzo to go to LA with Paul George, and like to me, that's a better situation with Lonzo, with Kawhi, George, and Lonzo in LA.
They
That's
got to trade somebody.
trade Pat Bev. Trade to me though. All right, so the reason why the Pat Bev don't make sense is because if you're trading Lonzo, you're trading him because you want something, you want more offense from your point guard than you were getting from him last year in the bubble. And so it don't make sense to trade that for Pat Beverly because he's not even trying to give you offense. You know what I'm saying? Lonzo was trying to give you offense and it just wasn't working out. If you go to Pat Bev, you're saying like, yo, we don't even want no offense at all. However, that does make sense in the scheme with Stan Van Gundy, where he like, we don't need the point guard to be the primary ball handler. You know what I'm saying? We could have Brandon Ingram bring it up to court. But, yeah.
So Brandon Ingram gonna be he gonna be Bron now.
Yeah, pretty much. He gonna be Giannis. The point forward, yeah. That's what they want. I seen somewhere too, since we were talking about Shaq, where Shaq was saying he compared himself to Giannis. He said that he was the first Giannis, actually. When he first came into the league, he said his game was more like Giannis's. And then, like, as he developed, he realized he had to put on more mass and dominate that way. Because he was like, he said that in every level, he made himself like unique. So when he was at LSU, he was quick, fast, and more athletic than everybody. Then when he got to the league, there was Elijah Wan, there was David Robinson, there was all of these big dudes who were quick and as fast as him. So then he morphed his body to be bigger and stronger than everybody. But he was saying, like, if you go back to them early Magic highlights, he was more so like bringing it up to court. You know what I mean? He could sauce you a little bit. That was his game, but he didn't switch it.
Man, I mean, that is true. No, even in the All-Star game when he crossed Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like, like that is that I can see that, but I don't know. It's like I think Giannis was a lot more athletic than him. Like
than Shaq, nah, I want to say athletic.
Yeah.
No, it's I'm talking about as far as like Giannis, he can basically play the point. I can't see. I can't see him playing a point like that.
So I would say the difference is Giannis didn't come in playing a point. They developed him into that.
Right.
That's why J Kidd gets so much credit for his development. So I think Shaq saying like in the event that they would have decided to develop him into that, he could have done it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But all right though, for real though, we finna get up off here.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah. See y'all later, man.
Peace out. Police, man. Man, it's your main man, AB the Hero, man. I appreciate all y'all tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all hitting that like button, you know what I'm saying? And showing some love. My man and them who jumped in here to chat with me. We'll be back Wednesday for sure in the evening. But I'm probably gonna try to go live almost every day for at least a little bit of time, right? So on Monday, Wednesday, the long versions, and then we'll try to get some shorter ones throughout the week, at least Monday through Friday. But it's your main man, AB the Hero. I'm out. Peace.